What's up, y'all? It's your girl Roxy with Roxy Says, and we're going to talk about it. Today, we are reviewing the Ultimatum South Africa episodes 7, 8, and 9. A lot happened, as you all know, so let's get right into it. But before we do, please don't forget to hit like, comment, and subscribe. Welcome to all of my new subscribers. Thank you all so much for showing love, the new, the old, everyone in between. I really appreciate having each and every one of you here. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all know up front, my reunion review is going to be late because I will not be able to record it until like Monday. So please bear with me, be patient, and I will try to get it out for you guys as soon as possible. So as episode 7 starts, we pick right up where we left off, and all of the couples are discussing what they plan on bringing into their next trial marriage with their original partners. It continues on a bad note when Kany learns that Kateko has spoken about her to Isaac and agreed with things about her. She does not like that at all. So everyone says bye, and Lindile is clearly worried about Tabi going back to Genesis. SZA is worried about Kateko. This whole thing is so awkward because it's like you just spent 3 weeks with someone else's partner and now you dropping them off like,
hey, thank you, I had fun.
It's like, it's so weird. So all the couples are home and immediately Kanya starts.
Get off this bed and sleep on the couch or the floor or where you were.
Side note, someone in the last video told me that Kanya is like wanted. She like, somebody, is that true? I haven't looked it up yet, but it's believable. So we see Kanya and Kateko, and I just cannot wrap my mind around how and why Kateko has subjected himself to this type of treatment.
Take your cheap wine and get off my bed. Please, get off this bed. Now. Get off this bed!
Kanya, stop hitting me.
Kanya is a bully. She's a bully. And why does production allow her to wild out like this? Why does production allow her to do these things to other castmates? It's not right. And she isn't just mean, she's abusive. If this was flipped and Kateko was doing this to her, I'm sure production would have stepped in immediately. I'm so over her if you can't already tell, okay? So next we see Ndile and Sizigele, and he's giving her the silent treatment. So she decides to initiate a conversation, and she tells him that she heard that he's in love with Tabi, and if that is true, she wants to hear it straight from him. And he says, yes, I am in love with Tabi, and he also lets her know that they were intimate. People might have different definitions of what intimate means. He doesn't actually say they slept together. That's what I'm assuming, but I don't know, okay? But after he says that, he just starts going in on her.
You've been inconsiderate. You have been inconsiderate, and this has really affected my experience.
And I'm not feeling that. Look, Lindile, if you love Tabi, that's fine. But it seems like he was trying to make Sizigele feel as if she did something wrong when she's done way less than you, especially if you have been intimate in the way that I think that you've been intimate. And then he flips it on her and says, oh, if Kateko loves you and understands you more, I'll walk away from this so that you can be happy. And I don't like what he's doing here because it's clear that he wants to walk away, but he doesn't want to look like the bad guy, so he's trying to flip it. But at this point, I think that he's just saying that because he really wants to break up with Sizigele and be with Tabi. But Siza ends up apologizing to him when he's the one who was intimate with someone else. Somebody please make it make sense. And I hope that that intimacy thing is cleared up at the reunion because I have questions. So next we see Genesis. He's showering Tabi with gifts, and she appreciates that he is making an effort because he knows that gifts are her love language, but clearly he slacked on the gifts in the past. So we see Tabi go over to the bed and she sees this big, nice teddy bear. And at first I thought that it was from Genesis, but child, she looks at the note and it is not. It is from Lindile. And when Tabi hugs this bear, she almost looks like she's about to cry. And of course, this hurts Genesis to see how much Tabi misses Lindile. And on top of that, Tabi got a gift for Lindile, but she didn't get a gift for Genesis. Genesis looks like a little puppy dog to me. It's his eyes. Like he just looks so, he looks so adorable and innocent. I feel so bad for him in this scene. But you can see that after 7 years, he is finally realizing that he can actually lose Tabi. Child, why didn't Aiden get Courtney anything?
I couldn't get you anything because I didn't have any money.
That's a lie.
In the last episode, he was just saying that he knows that he got too comfortable and he knows that he's gonna try harder. And you start by not getting her a gift? Bruh, What's going on? This trial marriage is going to show us why these couples are here in the first place, okay? Because I loved Aiden so far. He's such a sweetheart, really kind, and always there for all of the ladies. But now we'll see why Courtney brought him here. And not only Aiden, but for all of the other couples, because now they're not in a honeymoon phase with someone new. They're with their original partners who they have history with, who they've had arguments with, disagreements with. So now we get to see them in a completely different element. Courtney lets Aiden know that she has high expectations for him, and if they are not met, she is walking away straight like that, okay? Courtney says that he doesn't fight for her, and she felt like if she walked right out the door, he wouldn't even try to stop her. And I said, woo, I'm scared for Aiden because it seems like he is on thin ice. But he says that he feels confident that they're going to make it through this. We'll see. Next, we see Ruth, and she's apologizing to Isaac, and she makes sure that she apologizes for the way that Isaac found out and not the actual deed. And of course, that upsets Isaac. He's like, so you're sorry for how I found out, but you're not sorry for what you actually did? But Ruth is straight up and she says, no, she's not sorry for what she did. And she kind of said what I said in my last video. He did a lot with Kany. They just didn't get to sleep together. But Ruth knows that he would have done so if he was given the opportunity. If Kany said, get in this bed, let's sleep together, she knows that Isaac would have done that. She then confronts Isaac about introducing Kany to his family members in such a short period of time. He doesn't acknowledge that. He doesn't explain or answer that. He just goes back to her sleeping with Nola. And Isaac said that he cannot stand to sleep in the same bed, much less apartment that Nola and Ruth slept together in. So he packs up his stuff and he leaves. Next, we see Tabi drop off a gift for Lindile, and you can see that these two really do miss each other. They have these cute little names for each other. Child, Lindile starts tearing up, okay? And I'm just like, this is a lot. This is a lot. Next, we see Isaac come back and he tells Ruth that he forgives her for sleeping with Nola. He just needs to rebuild the trust, which is understandable, but I need that question answered on why he took Kany to meet his family and not Ruth. I need answers. I need them now. I need to know why. Next, we see Lindile and Sizigele, and Lindile claims that he forgot the gift on the counter. I don't believe him. I feel like he left it there on purpose. And I honestly feel like he was trying to start a fight with Sizigele so that he'd have an excuse to run to Tabi and to break up with Sizigele. Boy, you left it there on purpose, okay? And as I was watching this scene, the look in Lindile's eyes as he was speaking to Sizigele is so different than how he looks at Tabi. And then when I'm reminded that Lindile and Sizigele have only been together for 6 months, and it's already like this, I was already feeling like these two need to just cut their losses and break up. It's only been 6 months, so there wouldn't be much lost. Ugh. Child, now we back with this girl. And at this point, I was starting to get mad at Kateko because why are you even trying to talk to this lady? Why are you trying to make up with her? I thought that you were truly disgusted with how she was acting. I thought that you were truly disgusted at the way that she spoke to Sizigele. I thought you were disgusted with her at the changeover. If she's giving you the silent treatment, why are you even making an effort to speak to her? But not only does he try to speak to her, he ends up apologizing to her, and she claims that him and Sizigele were just at home talking about her 24/7, trying to provoke her, and this lady is... And he's like, no, we weren't even thinking about you. And she's like, I know that you guys were talking about me 24/7. And I'm like, girl, are you sure that those aren't just the voices in your head? So next we find out that Kany isn't necessarily a gold digger because she said that she has deprived herself of gold for an entire year to be with NK. And he doesn't push back on that, so I'm gonna have to believe her.
Why did you then?
Because I'm not materialistic and a gold digger. Yes, I've got standards, but I am a sucker for love.
Next, we see Caesar bring Lindile's gift back. So she has been asking him to return this gift to Tabi for a couple of days. And every day he's like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. She's like, look, I'm going to do it right now. So she walks over to Tabi and Genesis' place because she feels disrespected. Sizigele feels like the past 3 weeks was their time to bond, their time to do whatever, get everything out of their system. And now it's her time. Don't bring my man no gifts during our 3-week trial marriage, okay? And I 100% agree with Sizigele on that. So when she leaves, of course, Tabi is a bit upset, and Genesis is trying to get her to understand why she's upset. Genesis says, look, this is the time for the original couples to rebuild their relationship without any interference. And you giving Indile that gift is an interference. But Tabi still feels a way about it. Next, we see Nkateko and Kanya making up after a whole week of fighting. And now I think that to some extent, Kateko really likes this crazy, unhinged energy that Kanya gives. He has to like it, right? After that, we see Ruth and Isaac. They're still distant with each other. They get into another argument about what Ruth and Nola did. And Ruth was like, look, if you continue to be here and you still have a problem, why are you still here? Why are you still here? Just go home. And then Isaac says this.
Let me show why I'm here.
Ooh, child. Isaac dropped that ring on her and Ruth is like, So now we are at episode 8, and after seeing the ring, Ruth is now willing to apologize to Isaac for hurting him by sleeping with Nola. But she also says she never knows what's going on in his mind or if he's planning something. And he said that he has always planned to fulfill what she brought him here for, which was to be married by the end of this experiment. But Ruth is upset because she said that he has never communicated to her in any way that he had any plans on marrying her. She hasn't even met his family. She hasn't been to his home. They don't speak on the phone. They only text. Hello. How does Isaac think that his actions are supposed to translate into Ruth thinking,
oh yeah, this man wants to marry me. Oh yeah, of course he wants to marry me.
explain how? Next, we see Kanya and Kateko, and they're laughing and they're getting closer. And Kanya agrees to speak to Kateko's mom because remember, his mom does not like her at all. But at this point, every time these two are on my screen, I'm just like, so it's time for another ladies' night out. Oh boy, and it did not disappoint. Kanye is telling the ladies that she is now ready to be engaged to Kateko. And when Courtney said this in her confessional, I cracked up. Courtney has been clocking these two forever.
I feel like Nkateko is wearing a dog leash and Kanya is walking him around.
Then Tabi asks Sizikele why she brought Lindile's gift back to her apartment. And Caesar tells her that it was disrespectful. And Tabi pretty much tells her that her gift was a response to Lindile's gift, which he left on her bed. Now, Sizikele didn't know that Lindile had also left her a gift, okay? And Tabi tells Sizikele that she could have just thrown the gift in the trash if it was a big deal. She didn't have to make a scene by bringing it back to her apartment. Honestly, I don't mind Sizikele bringing the gift back. She came to Tabi direct. She pulled up to her doorstep and was like, here, girl, take this gift back, okay? It's my time now. And if I'm being 100% honest, I probably would have done the same thing so that there's no room for confusion. I would have pulled up to her doorstep and said,
Hey girl, take your gift back. I'm not want it.
But now Sizikele and Tabi definitely have beef. Things are definitely shaky between them now. So next we see Ruth, and she tells the ladies that her and Isaac are definitely getting married and how she saw the ring. And Kanya asks her if she feels like she knows who she's marrying by marrying Isaac. And Ruth says she doesn't know him 100%, but she's happy. Now listen, that question that Kanya asked was a very good question because Ruth really doesn't know Isaac like that. If she doesn't even know his family, does she really know him? And remember, before that, Ruth had a plethora of issues with Isaac, including, okay? But ever since she saw that ring, now she's 100% sold and ready to get married. Girl, no, the ring is not going to change who he is, okay? Child, next we see Kanya ask Ruth, why did she sleep with Nola? And originally when she asked this question, it seemed like a chill question, like she was genuinely trying to find out why. It didn't seem shady at all. And Ruth says,
I wanted to have the sex, period.
Oh, like over and over.
Yeah, I needed sex, so I had it.
Ruth was like, look, I've been dealing with Isaac's little pee-pee for all this time, okay? I just needed something that I could finally feel. And I thought that was the end of that, but no. Because this is Kanya that we are dealing with, right? So she's not done. But baby, my girl Ruth got her all the way together.
From a stranger.
He's not a stranger, I was staying with him.
From a random guy. Well,
He's not a random guy, same as allowing just a random guy to see you naked.
He would be in the shower. No, it's not. Oh my gosh. You shouldn't have slept with anyone if you're gonna block it out.
I will do whatever I want with my body, it's not yours.
The S you've been giving.
The S you've been showing.
See, what I love about Ruth is you can't shame her. You can't shame her because she owns her shit, and I love that about her. Kanya was expecting her to cower and to feel embarrassed and to be stuttering. Ruth was like, no, I did it because I wanted to, and what? And what? Meanwhile, at the guys' night, Aiden tells them that he bought Courtney a ring and he shows them the picture and everyone's really excited for him. We see Kateko telling the men that every day he sees a reason why he should stay with Kanya and every day he sees a reason why he should leave Kanya. Boy, whatever. Next, we see Genesis and Lindile, and they're speaking about how Tabby and him feel about each other. And it's a very mature and understanding conversation. Genesis says that he knows that Lindile and Tabby do love each other. And he also understands that that is something that they won't be able to forget about or get over in a couple of days or even a couple weeks. Like I said before, Genesis seems so sweet and patient. We saw the kindness and the patience that he displayed with Courtney in the trial marriage. And now we're also seeing the kindness and the patience that he has with both Tabby and Lindile. So now all the couples go home and of course they have to debrief about everything that happened that night. Isaac and Ruth have a funny conversation about what went down with Kanya, and Isaac was so proud of Ruth. He was like, yeah, that's my woman. That's my woman. He was happy that Ruth put Kanya in her place. Child, next we see Kanya and Kateko, and Kanya's complaining to him about what happened with Ruth. What are you complaining about? You're the one who started the mess. You're the one who wanted to dig in Ruth's business. You're the one who tried to embarrass Ruth, and instead she shut you down. Now you want to talk to Kateko about it all night and complain and complain and complain. Even he was like, look, this is not something that we should talk about for the rest of the night. We have other more important things that we can discuss other than what happened between you and Ruth.
Yeah.
She's an ugly hood rat who's bitter, who's about to...
So because she can't call Ruth fat, she calls her ugly. Where? Show me, please. Because Ruth is beautiful. And the more I see Kateko with Kanya, I'm starting not to like him either, okay? Because he's enabling this behavior. He plays such a different role with Sizigele. When he was with Sizigele, he was masculine, okay? He was her protector. He was a leader. I saw him in a completely different light. He was sexy when he was with Sizigele, okay? If I'm being 100% honest, I liked seeing him with her. He just... But when he's with Kanya, he is exactly what Courtney says. He's her punching bag. He's her little puppy dog on a leash. And I'm sure when he was with Sizigele, he felt so strong. I know he did. I know he did because you can see it. But it's also apparent that he is used to, and dare I say, comfortable with this dynamic that he has with Kanya. And it also has me thinking, does he depend on Kanya financially? Because she did say that he was broke. And he did move in with her. Is he only with her for a place to stay? Kateko, blink twice if you need a place to stay. So next we see Courtney's parents meeting Aiden's mom for the first time. Mind you, these two have been together for 7 years and it's the first time that their parents are meeting, but I guess better late than never, right? Courtney says that her parents are very intense and they're not easy to please. Both Aiden and Courtney are very nervous and they really hope that their parents gel. Aiden's mom says that one of the reasons why he is so indecisive is because his dad always plays devil's advocate, always causes him to think about other options, and because of that, he often doubts his decisions. But so far, the meeting is going well, and when Aiden's mom pulls Courtney aside for a little chat, Aiden has some one-on-one time with Courtney's mom and dad.
I have decided that I do want to ask you to marry me, and I wanted to ask you guys for your blessing. Thank you. But,
Just look at Okra. He's everything to us.
And this is such a beautiful moment. Both of Courtney's parents start crying, and Courtney's dad lets him know, I want you to take care of my daughter, okay? And he also reminds Aiden that he needs to get a career, okay? Because he wants to know that his daughter is marrying someone who is stable and who is secure. But he also lets Aiden know that he is there for him if ever he needs to talk, if ever he needs some advice, because apparently Aiden's dad lives overseas, and I guess he doesn't get to speak to him as often as he would like to. But overall, this is a beautiful scene. I don't think that it could have went any better. Next, we see Ruth finally meeting Isaac's cousin, sister, and this guy. Isaac's sister, Benedict, asks him why he's never introduced or even mentioned Ruth to her. And Isaac says, oh, it's been a busy 2 years. Isaac's sister, Benedict, kinda sorta corroborates what Isaac said about his culture. Remember that when they bring a woman to meet the family, it's his wife. But Isaac's sister said potential wife. Isaac said you have to be the wife. You already have to be the wife before you meet the family, okay? So that means Isaac could have been brought Ruth home this whole time. And obviously we know that the culture isn't that rigid because he took Kany to meet his family. Anyways, Benedict asks Ruth if Isaac brought her to meet his mother right now, will she be ready for marriage? And Ruth makes a joke and she says no.
And then what's going on? Like, why am I here then?
Why?
What do you mean?
I'm kidding, guys.
Wow.
No, guys, I'm kidding.
So, child, next we learned that apparently Isaac leaves home at all hours of the night, and he has the nerve to talk about that's just what he does. That's just what he does. And at the end of the day, he still needs to be Isaac. You hear this, right? And I bet when he comes home in the wee hours of the morning, them dishes better be washed. And I bet he's also expecting his dinner or his breakfast when he comes home from God knows where. Are you crazy? Even his own family and friends call him out on it. It is very clear that these two do not need to be together. So it's the final night of the trial marriages, and we see all of the couples having their little date at home and having those final important conversations. Courtney and Aiden have another conversation about his fear of the marriage failing, but Courtney reassures him. We see Ruth and Isaac, and she says that she loves him with all of her heart, but her mind is telling her that he is not the right one for her. We see Ndile and Sizikele, and they seem to be in a much better place, and it looks like they've worked out the many issues that they've been having. And Genesis and Tabi, they're also in a better space, and it looks like they've grown a lot closer. Do you see that cute picture of them when they were younger? But although things have gotten better, Genesis still has some insecurities about another man being able to make such a strong connection with Tabi. And Tabi is still a bit doubtful. Oh boy, and now we have these two.
And you can wear this dress again when we go out.
Yeah, this just does need an occasion.
Next, we see an individual date between Sizikele and Kateko. Usually when the trial couples get together, it's like a big event, but this time it's just a one-on-one date. And during this date, both Sizikele and Kateko acknowledge that they still have love and feelings for each other. And Kateko actually asks her if they both say no to their exes tomorrow, would they have a chance to start over with each other? Ooh, you know, I was hyped to hear him say that because I really want these two to be together, but we'll see what happens. Next up, episode 9. It is Ultimatum Day, okay? And of course, all of the emotions are running high and everyone is reevaluating their relationship and the experience that they had with the trial partners. So first up, we have Kany and Kateko. Boo! And the entire time that they were preparing, I was just looking at my computer screen like, these two better not leave here engaged. So they finally meet up and Kateko gives this cute little speech, you know, like they always do. Everyone gonna give their little speech, blah, 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 blah. And he pulls out a ring, but this is not the kind of ring that Kany was expecting.
I'm also giving you this ring.
Asking me already.
This is a promise. A promise that I will also give you an engagement ring.
So what's this?
It's a promise ring.
Kateko, just rip the Band-Aid off, please. Just rip it off. Why you keep, just rip it off. And as you can imagine, Kany is not having it, and she tells him to take the ring off. And in all honesty, Kany is not wrong for not accepting a promise ring. That is not the premise of this show, okay? Y'all are supposed to get engaged, not no high school promise ring. So I 1000% understand Kany for not accepting it, but at the same time, I don't feel bad for her at all. So next we see Sizikele and Ndile, and whew, I gotta say it, and Ndile looked good. He looked good here. He looked good, okay? So Ndile gives this beautiful speech and he gets down on one knee to propose to Sizikele.
Maybe the only thing is for me to just say yes. I'll be your wife, baby.
Now this was cute and all, but I'm sorry. If I was Ndile, I would not have been happy with that answer. Maybe. But he's cool with it, so okay. Child, next we got Kany and Kateko on my screen. I said, why are these two people on my screen? I thought they left. I thought they went home. Kateko is still trying to plead his case with Kany. Kany is telling him that he's all talk, and he says, look, I'll engage you now. And she's like, with that promise ring? And some of y'all might not agree, but Kany is 100% right in this again. I'm sorry. if Keteko bought this ring as a promise ring, right, and he had intentions of eventually buying her an engagement ring, it would be safe to assume that he has a way higher standard for an engagement ring that he's purchasing for Kanya than he did for a promise ring. Kanya's like, no, I want an engagement ring, okay? But in the grand scheme of things, promise ring, engagement ring, that's irrelevant. Why is Keteko willing to propose an engagement to someone when he knows he's not ready? Why is he doing this? I need Keteko to stand up to this woman. Please, stand up to this woman. You are not obligated to stay with her. And if you know that you are not ready to be engaged to her, do not propose an engagement to her. Don't do that. Next, we see Courtney and Aiden. We already know that Aiden is going to propose, and Courtney already said that she wants to marry Aiden. So they give their cute little speeches. Aiden proposes, and at this point, I was a little scared because for a second, it sounded like she was going to turn him down, but she does say yes. And she also gives Aiden a ring. This scene was beautiful. You can see that they are both very happy. Child, now it's time for Isaac and Ruth, okay? Isaac said that he bought this ring before they even came to this experience because he knew that he was gonna marry Ruth. Now his actions weren't showing that, okay? His actions, okay, let me not mess up this man's proposal. Let's go.
2 years, it's been long distance between us, and you gave this relationship between her and I a chance. And you gave me the ultimatum, so like, man up.
The entire time that Isaac was talking, I was like, sir, don't even bother proposing to Ruth because Ruth is gonna say no. But child, Isaac surprised me.
Right. Deep down me, I know you deserve way better than me. I feel like it's for the best.
And then Ruth turned around and surprised him.
Because I really don't like the way you've been making me feel the whole time. It's not working for me. And I feel like really we should end the relationship.
I can honestly say that I'm truly happy for both of them. These two had no business being together, but they do hug, and it seems like they end on good terms, even though Isaac does seem a bit frustrated because I don't think that he thought that he would lose Ruth. I think that he thought, you know, they can continue their relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, and eventually get engaged and married. Ruth is like, no, I'm good. Bye. Next, we have Tabby and Genesis, and he asks her to read a beautiful letter that he wrote for her. He gets on his knee and he proposes, but Tabby had a few questions before she gave him her answer.
You sure, like this is you?
This is me.
It's coming from your heart.
Yeah.
It's not because I gave you an ultimatum.
No, that's what I want to do.
That's wicked. Thank you.
This was so sweet, and then Genesis also gave her 2 additional letters to give to her family. Congratulations to Aiden and Courtney. Congratulations to Tabby and Genesis. Who else got engaged? Who else got engaged? Who else did no one else? Those are the only 2 that got engaged, right? Child, how I just did this review and I can't remember. I think those are the only 2 that got engaged. That was episode 9. That was the ultimatum. I can truly say that I'm happy with the outcomes of all of the couples. Even though Sizikele and Keteko did not end up together, well, I don't know, because the reunion is on Friday, okay? But even though they didn't leave here together, I'm still happy with the outcomes of all of the couples. Tell me all of your thoughts below. Were you surprised by any couple? And let me know your predictions for the reunion. Do you think that some of the trial couples got back together? What do you think about Lebo and Nola, child? Because we don't know what's going on with them. As always, we'll talk down below. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so that you are made aware when I post my reunion video, because it's going to be just a little bit late. It's going to be a little bit late. I'm sorry. But I will see y'all in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for subscribing. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.
Roxy says we're gonna talk.